Some patterns, or may I say, some pauses are easy to miss until you connect the dots. Hello and welcome back to Rooted in the Seasons, where ancient wisdom meets modern life with a strong cup of tea and practical tools for real busy women. I'm Katya Patel, Ayurvedic diet and lifestyle educator, teacher, and teacher mentor. Today, I want to explore something that has been on my mind over the last few weeks. It's about the tiny pauses we keep missing throughout the day. Not the long breaks we often wish we had, the little transitions that already exist between one activity and the next. If you're someone who gets a great deal done, but still reaches the end of the day, wondering where the day actually went, then this episode is for you. Have you ever noticed how quickly one part of the day flows into the next? You send one email while already thinking about the next. You haven't quite finished one meeting before you're already making a mental to-do list. During lunch, instead of enjoying the meal, you are already planning the afternoon. And before long, the whole day begins to feel like one continuous stream. Many women tell me they would love 5 minutes to themselves, a chance to switch off. And of course, the rest is absolutely important. But lately, I've been wondering whether something else is happening. Perhaps what we are really missing are the natural transitions that already exist throughout the day. Let me tell you what I mean. Have you ever thought about the fact that everything we do already has a rhythm, a beginning, a middle, an end? That's pretty normal, right? We are all aware of that. Think about a conversation, a meal, a meeting, this episode. Beginning is usually obvious. The middle has our attention. The ending often passes without us noticing it. Physically, we finished. We've pressed the send button. We left the meeting. We finished our lunch. But mentally, the mind has already moved on. And I think that's where something important happens. This was actually a big learning moment for me. Recently, I looked at everything I needed to do during that day. When I thought about roughly how long each task would take, I realized something. Although it seemed like a lot, but every single task was perfectly manageable. Yet, before I even started, I was thinking, when can I finally take a break? I realized I wasn't overwhelmed by the individual tasks. It felt more as if I was carrying the whole day in my mind before I'd even started. Nothing had a chance to feel complete. And this is where things start to connect. Over 2,000 years ago, Patanjali recognized these constant movements of the mind. In the Yoga Sutras, he describes yoga as quietening of the fluctuations of the mind. I love that description because it feels familiar. The mind remembers, it plans, it imagines, it replays conversations, it jumps ahead. There's nothing unusual about that. It's actually part of human life. I once heard someone describe thoughts as visitors knocking on your door. You don't have to invite every one of them for a cup of tea. This image makes me smile. Sometimes it's enough simply to notice there's tomorrow again. When the mind jumps ahead, there's that conversation coming back when it moves into the past. Then let the thought continue on its way. And I wonder whether something similar happens with the activities that fill our day. Instead of allowing one experience to come to a close, we mentally carry it into the next one. So I'd like to invite you to try something different, a little experiment, nothing complicated. The next time you finish an email, quietly say to yourself, "That's done." This is what I do. I talk to myself. Take one conscious breath, then begin the next email. When you've finished a meeting, that's done. One conscious breath. Then move on to whatever comes next. Lunch has a slightly different quality. It's time to nourish yourself. When you've finished eating, simply take a conscious breath. You might think, "I'm ready to carry on now." Then begin the afternoon. 3 simple words have become a lovely reminder for me. Finish, breathe, begin. You could even write them on a post-it note and stick them somewhere you'll see it. On the computer, your notebook, the kettle, somewhere your eyes naturally land during the day. I know you might be thinking, "That sounds lovely, Katja, but I haven't got the time for this." And I get it. It can seem to be extra work that slows you down. However, my experience was exactly the opposite. The breath itself takes only a few seconds, right? What changed wasn't how much I got done. What changed was the conversation running alongside everything I was doing. There's still so much to do. When can I finally have a break? It seems like never ending. That running commentary gradually became quieter. The work stayed exactly the same. My experience of the work changed. Instead of carrying the whole day with me, I was simply doing the next thing. Before we finish, I want to leave you with one final thought. A few weeks ago, I traveled to the Lake District to visit a venue for our retreat next year. After several hours in the car, my colleague and I stepped out and we did exactly the same thing. We stopped. We took a deep breath. Within moments, something felt different. At first, I thought it was simply the fresh air. But now I wonder whether something else happened. The journey had come to an end. Before the next experience began, there was a space to recognize its completion. Perhaps that's one of the gifts of stepping away from our usually routines. Not because retreats create pauses, because they make it easier to notice the ones that have been there all along. Maybe that's something we can also rediscover in everyday life. When the day starts to feel like one continuous stream, we stop recognizing the rhythm that's already there. One conscious breath, one quiet acknowledgement that's done. Then begin again. If today's episode resonated with you and you're thinking, wow, I would love to experience more of this, but I really don't know how to start, you're not alone. This is exactly why I created When Rest Isn't Enough, Rebuild Your Daily Rhythm. It's a space where we explore these small daily anchors, conscious transitions, and breathing practices together. You don't have to figure it out on your own. Thank you so much for listening to Rooted in the Season. If you enjoyed this episode, can subscribe or follow Rooted in the Seasons on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So new episodes arrive automatically each week. If you like more support between episodes, you can download my free guide, 5 Daily Ayurvedic Shifts to Feel Like Yourself Again, and join my Sunday Read newsletter. You find the link in the show notes. And if something in this episode resonated, I'd love to hear from you. Connect with me on Substack or send me an email. I always read and answer them. Until next time, stay rooted in the seasons. Bye-bye.